welcome to Showband Stories. My guest this week is Shaun O'Dowd. Now, he has perhaps the dubious honour of being one of the very last of the great show bands. And he did it at a time when the showband industry was winding down. But he's going to tell us a bit more about that. Shaun O'Dowd, you're very welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here. I was too young, you see.
You were.
For the older show. That's why I'm the last one of them. That's the young brigade.
They kept the good wine.
They kept the good wine until
they did.
Perfect.
Shaun, you had a nostalgic moment. You're not the only one of the guests that, when they walked into this ballroom, you had a magic moment here.
I had actually, yeah.
In the Ballroom of Romance.
The Ballroom of Romance, yeah. I remember. First of all, let me tell you this. My mother played on that stage.
Did she?
My mother, yes, she did. Her name was Phyllis Glancy. She had her own orchestra, and she played with Frank Murray's band, who played here. She played with Kevin Wood's band from Drumshambo, and Vera Morgan was the lead singer, and she was Val Joyce's wife, Vera, and my mother was the piano player and singer in the band, and she played here, and I danced here. But my mother, when I came in, it struck me. I remember her talking about this place and the Ballroom of Romance and Mr. McGivern, and she used to tell us when she'd come home, there's 8 of us in the family, and she'd tell us all about when she'd come here to this ballroom. He was an unusual character. I'm sure people have spoke about him already on different shows, but he was unique because he had this romantic interlude,
yes,
and where people were allowed to get close, yes, which was very risque at the time. Yes. And I think they were allowed kiss at the end of the dance.
Oh.
I think they were allowed kiss. Now, that's as far as it went, because the parish priest was standing outside anyway, so you couldn't go any further.
You couldn't.
Did you know that, Steve?
Well, actually, I did hear that there was
rumours
about this romantic interlude.
Yeah.
Shaun, you're near enough a local boy here, aren't you?
Yeah, I was born in Jamestown, County Leitrim, and lived on the other side of the Shannon then most of my life, on the Roscommon side of the Shannon. Even though I went to school, my father was our school teacher, and he taught in Drumsna, and he used to bring us all to school, so we couldn't mitch. We had to go with my dad, and we called him Sir at school.
Did you?
And Dad at home. Yeah.
It's kind of weird, is it?
Yeah, but it was a bit strange, yeah, but it worked. It worked. There's 8 of us in the family, still 8 of us.
Was he music?
No, he wasn't musical at all, no, but my mother was very musical. Yeah. She was a music teacher, and like I said earlier on, she had her own band and that kind of thing. And I can remember as a kid sitting on the floor in the sitting room while her band would rehearse. And I remember them. And I remember some of the songs they used to rehearse. And it stuck in my head. It was a song called "You Can't Be True to Two, You Can Only Be True to One." And I remember them playing that because my mother used to get the sheet music from England.
Yes.
And then all the guys in the band could read. They could read and play their parts, you know. And so she'd just put up all the sheet music, and the band would kick off, and away they'd go. And we would sit in the sitting room on the floor listening to all these, 3 Coins in the Fountain and stuff like that.
And did she teach you music?
Yes, she did her best to teach me music, but you see, of course, I heard the love of my life on radio. That was Elvis.
Elvis.
I heard this tune, Heartbreak Hotel,
right, beaming
across the airwaves, and it just stopped me in my tracks. And I wanted to be Elvis, I wanted to sing like Elvis, I wanted to talk like Elvis, everything. It just took me over. Isn't that strange?
Well,
and just to hear something on the radio like that, and it had that power then over me anyway. And I suppose it had the power over millions of other people, because he's the biggest artist of the century, you know.
Well, he did have that effect on so many young people. Look at all of the clones that came out.
It was strange. And I just wanted, that's all I ever wanted after that then. And I pursued it, and nothing would stop me. Nothing. I'd go through hell or high water. I had these dreams and wanting to be someone and wanting to make progress, just if I could only make a record that kind of thing. Then if I could only get that record played on the radio, then if I could only get a second, then maybe an album, and so on, and dream and dream and dream, and following the dream, following the dream and working at it. It didn't just come to me, I had to put myself into all these positions, embarrassing positions, up looking at bands and asking them questions, and how do you record, and what's it like in a studio, and all that kind of thing. And then, of course, I made my way into having my own little band.
What were they called?
They were called the Telstars.
Telstar. After the
there was a tune called Telstar out at the time, and I wanted suits. I wanted to look like a show band, and my dad bought suits from Ben Dolan, Joe Dolan's brother, second-hand suits that the Drifters had worn. And they were red suits. But we thought we were the bee's knees, and we would do it a few gigs, and it was never a success because we had no experience and we didn't know how to do it and all that kind of thing. But my father bought the suits from Ben Dolan. So I must have worn Joe's suit at some stage.
You might have. I mean, what were the dreams for the band? Did you think that particular band was...
Oh, yeah. Of course, I thought that it was only a matter of time before we would be huge. Yeah. And I couldn't understand how the punters couldn't see it in us, that we were geniuses. Yeah, of course, they saw exactly what we were. We were Muppets, but we had fun.
At that time, obviously, you were singing Elvis Presley songs, but was there any one particular song that stood out for you, that perhaps still stands out for you as... it's something that you love to sing then, you love to sing now?
Yeah, probably Danny Boy, because I learned it at home with my mother on piano. Right. And if I'm asked to sing a song at a party, I usually give that a go. Sometimes I sing it well, sometimes not so well, because it's a difficult song.
It is.
And it's just a great song, and I get a buzz out of singing it most times. So it would be a song that would stand out for me. I would say it's as good a song as there was ever written.
But you're right, it's a difficult song to sing because it's got such a massive range.
It has a good range.
And coupled with that, it means something to so many people.
Well, it means something to me because it brings me back to the beginning, really.
Perhaps you might give us a rendition of Danny Boy.
I'll have a go.
Shaun O'Dowd singing the beautiful evergreen song, Danny Boy.
Oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone, no, the roses dying. It's you, 'tis you, must go, and I must bide. But come me back when summer's in the meadow. Oh, when the valley's hushed and white with snow, 'tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And when you come and all the roses dying and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come place where I am lying, and kneel and say, one are they there for me? And I shall hear those soft you tread above me, and on our grave the warmer, sweeter be. And you will kneel and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come.